anytime you want to move from one point to the other, let's say you are in your home right now and then you want to get to your school, right? So you want to get to your school, you need a means of transportation. Is that okay? So a means of transportation, assuming it's kind of by foot or by a vehicle or a bicycle or anything of that nature. All that matters is what a means of transport from your home point to the school, your destination. So limiting our understanding to a vehicle here. So assuming that you need a vehicle that can convey you from one point to the other. Now, all that I mean here is bringing the idea to solving this particular question here. If f of y that is equal to log of y plus 1 base 2 minus log of y plus 3 base 2, you want to find, right? Find the domain of what f of y. Is that okay? And then moreover, you want to solve this particular question. Now, what is the meaning of logarithm? That is one point here, right? What do you mean by logarithm? If you have the answer on the importance of this logarithm, why don't you comment in the comment section below for us to learn from you? Is that okay? By the way, if you don't know what the meaning of this logarithm is, maybe you may just comment and then we'll send you the link to that video directly for you to have a better understanding. But a quick one here is that logarithm helps us to determine the cause or the effect of something, right? So the cause and then the effect, right? So let's say you are an ice cream, right? That should be ice cream, right? So ice cream, right? So ice cream lovers, maybe let's say you love an ice cream, but you see doing this ice cream, it requires you to have some raw products. So having a raw product, the raw product here, or maybe the raw item need to be processed before you have your ice cream, which is the finished product. Is that okay? So what will bring the ice cream here is exactly what logarithm does. Logarithm brings about the cause, right? So what caused the ice cream, or what was the effect on the ice cream here? That is what logarithm does, right? Another example is that if you want to be successful or have a better grade in math, right? So in math, you need to be consistent, and maybe let's say depending on how fast you learn or how slow you learn, maybe 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours per day consistently. That is how easily you can pass your mathematics. So the course of your success here, right? So the course of your success here depends on how many hours you put in for you to determine the success. So logarithm brings about the hours that you put in order to be successful in your mathematics. That's just a simple definition of logarithm. Now, having this question here is the first part is that we should know the domain, right? So you need to understand the meaning of this word first. So the meaning of this word here is the raw product of the ice cream, right? Very simple like that. Is that okay? So the domain of this function here, so assuming this function is a machine. So a machine here, what are we going to put inside a machine in order for us to have the results down, right? So this machine here determines the cause of the success, right? So logarithm here, the effect, the cause of the outcome. So what brings the outcome? That is exactly what the input, right? Is that okay? What brings the success here? That is what we are going to base on. So let's try and solve this question here. By the way, if you are new here, make sure that you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you gain some value from this video. Going back to the scenario of moving from your home to the school, which is your destination, you need a means of transportation here. Is that what you need in order to rewrite this expression on the right hand side here is to know the law that is governing what this logarithm says, that if you are subtracting and then the bases here are the same, all that we are going to do here is you use this guy divided by this. All right, so if you want a vivid explanation to this thing here, make sure that you just comment in the comment section. We'll give you the outside mathematics meaning behind this particular expression here, right? Okay. Now from here, this part here is going to be this part here. Is that okay? This part here. So let me change the pen here. This part here, the first one, that's going to be log this 2 here. That is the y plus 1 divided by y plus or plus 3. That's what the law is saying. So I'm using this marker to write against this whiteboard, right? So the law says I should use this one to write. That is obvious by nature, right? But if you need a proof of this, then make sure that you just comment in the comment section below. Is that okay? Now, very perfect. Now, way back to something called a rational function. If you don't know what a rational function is, let's say I have an amount of $3 here over another thing, right? So over, let's say over 1, meaning that I want to share the $3 to just a person. The person takes all the $3. What will happen if the down here is 0? Right? Just a second. What will happen if I want to share this $3 to nobody? Is that possible? It is not possible in some cases, right? So for understanding of this video, assuming it is not possible, right? So in order for this function to be valid, the down here must always be greater than 0. That is for the one inside the bracket here, right? So now that we have this guy, which is log of base 2 here to this one, then what are we going to do here? So everything here, everything inside this one here has to be greater than plus 1 divided by y plus 3, right? Everything has to be greater than 0. Everything here has to be greater than 0. So for us to have this thing to be greater than 0, all that we are going to do here is that the top one has to be greater than 0. But the question here is why? Why is it that the top one has to be greater than? Once the top one is greater than 0, everything here means that to be greater than 0. Is that okay? So once this one is greater than 0, you are free to go. So how can this one to be greater than 0? That's going to be subtract 1 from both sides of the inequality. Then we have this one to be negative 1, right? So this is the values of the y to be negative 1. Once you have y to be greater than negative 1, then it means that everything is going to be greater than 0. Right, so now here is pay very close attention. This is how you are going to write the domain of the using the set notation. Is a set, is a group of people, right? So a group of people that we are dealing with. So meaning that which people we are looking for y, so that not just any y is coming from this member here, right, which is the rational member, right? So y is not coming from just anywhere. Y is coming from specifically this family. Is that okay? So once we come from this family, not all the members of the family that we are looking for, we are just looking for people that are greater than negative 1. So y to be greater than negative 1. Right? So this is how you write the domain for this particular function. Right? Okay, perfect. Now the second one says that you should solve this equation, right? So looking at this thing here, why exactly is the f of y coming from? F of y is equal to 1. F of y is nothing but just this expression on the right hand side here, right? So this logarithm log y plus 1 base 2 minus log y plus 3 and then base 2. This is what we are calling y. So if you are here and I say you are equal to this, that meaning that both of you are the same. So what we are going to do here, we are just going to replace this f of y here by everything that is on the right hand side of this equation, right? And then we solve for the equation. So let's have this logarithm here on the right hand side of the equation. That is the log of y plus 1. This is y plus 1 base 2 minus what? Log y plus 3, and then base 2. Everything is equal to 1. Is that okay? This is just similar by saying that s plus, let's say 2x, assuming equal to 1, right? This is nothing, right? You can easily solve this. So having that idea in mind, you can also solve this guy. But here, just that we are dealing with a logarithm instead of just a mere x, right? Okay, perfect. Now from the previous part, we know that when you are subtracting, then the bases are the same. That is one law of the logarithm. If you want to know all this law, why don't you just comment and then we can easily assist you on that. So here we have this guy is going to be log of 2 here, everything that is y plus 1, every divided by y plus or plus 3, then everything is going to be equal to. We don't normally like using the technical term on this channel, right? So we want you to have a better understanding. But if you are not okay with this particular thing, all that we are requesting from you is just give us a comment, right? So just comment in the comment section below and then we can easily assist you on that. Perfect. Now with a simple understanding of what logarithm, that is why you need to check that video, right? So there's a playlist under this video, just try and check that, right? There's a simple meaning behind the logarithm. That's what I said earlier on, that it brings about. So let's say log of your success here is going to be equal to 2. What this thing means here is that this logarithm here helps us to determine what brings your success. Is that okay? So what brings your success? Since we say it is equal to 2, it means that you have to put in like 2 hours per day in order to have a successful or a better grade in mathematics. That is just for a simple understanding of logarithm. Is that okay? So the way of writing this one, that so maybe let's say in every 2 days, you have to spend like 2 hours, right? So in order to determine the success, right? So the base here goes to the what, the answer here, and then the answer what determines what, the success, right? So the outcome. Is that okay? So this is how it goes. The base raised to the exponent here, and then the success. So that idea here goes by saying that this is a base. So 2 exponent 1, that is good. I see 2 exponent 1 here. That is going to be anything that is here, y plus 1 divided by what, y plus 3. So here we are having 2, right? So 2 raised to the power 1 is the same as 2 here. That's going to be, so 2, this thing has to multiply. Okay, before that, y plus 1 divided by y plus or plus 3, right? So solving this equation, you should know how to solve this equation by cross multiply, meaning that 2 is multiplied the guy at the down here, so 2 into bracket y plus 3, that is going to be equal to y plus or plus 1. So this multiplied by that should be 2y and then plus 6, right? And then everything here is equal to y and then plus 1. Is that okay? I hope everyone can solve this. But by the way, for understanding purpose, we have to group a like terms here. So this y has to come here, or maybe subtract y from both sides, whichever way is accepted. But all that we need here is that variables to be on one side of the equation, and the numbers should also be on the one side. So the moment you cross this equal to sign here, your sign has to change, right? Okay, so here we have the 2y. 2y, let's bring the y here. Y tends to be a negative, and then everything is got to be 1. So this guy is already here before this guy is coming, so minus or minus is here. So this means that our y here is got to -5, right? So I'm out of pen here, so forgive me if you cannot see clearly, right? So that is y is equal to negative. So this is the values of the y, right? So when you solve for this equation, it means that we are solving for the input, what we are going to put in inside to determine the ice cream here. So y is equal to -5. Once again, if you gain some value from this video, make sure that you give us a thumbs up and then comment in the comment section below if you need any assistance. So thank you for watching.